As part of this FDP program, as a part of this assignment, we have to make an assignment pertaining to a video lecture related to our subject. The first lecture was pertaining to the feedback of this program, but now this is related to our subject, and I am trying to give a lecture on the topic that is continental drift theory. So I am being a teacher of geography, and physical geography is the subject which I used to teach as a teacher in my college. And continental drift theory is one of the most important, or I can say the most fascinating, most impressive, or the most dynamic theory ever in the domain of geography. Not in geography, but all in the domain of physical sciences. As we know, this theory has been derived from two words, continent and drift. And by weaving this theory, the name of this theory, we can make a perception in our mind that continents and drift, that continents are drifting, and this is pertaining to our theory. And the word continental drift theory, the propounder of this theory was Mr. Alfred Wegener, and he was a German geographer, and he propounded his theory. But the theory propounded by Alfred Wegener was not the outcome of his individual effort. He has propounded this theory after the efforts of various botanists, various zoologists, various physical scientists, various chemical scientists, various geological scientists, various geophysical scientists, because he has taken the assistance of all these scientists. Whatever he has given in this theory, he has given by taking the observations of all these scientists. As I mentioned, physical scientists, chemical scientists, or we can say the geologists, paleontologists, etc. Now, this theory, continental drift theory, what does this mean? This theory is basically prepared by taking the notion that whether continents are moving or our climatic zones are moving. This is the just basic theme of this theory, whether continents are on the move or our climatic zones are on the move. And in order to solve this riddle, solve this mystery, Alfred Wegener gave his opinion that if continents are on the move, then climatic zones would be stationary, and if climatic zones are stationary, then continents are on the move. And finally he came to a conclusion that continents are on the move and climatic zones are stationary, and that's why the continents are moving from one place to another and climatic zones are stationary, and thus every place experience different climatic conditions in every part of the year. Now, moving ahead with this theory, Mr. Wegener now tried to propound some evidences of this theory. That he has stated that continents are on the move, but he has to prove that how continents are on the move, and in this process he has given certain evidences. And the first evidence he has given that regarding the jigsaw fit pattern. All geographers are aware what is jigsaw fit pattern. This is pertaining to the fitting of the continent of Africa and South America. If we minutely see the continent of Africa and America, they could have been fitted in the same manner if they would not have been drifted. So the jigsaw fit pattern is the first evidence given by Mr. Alfred Wegener. After that jigsaw fit pattern, he has given the evidences of the formation of glossip-torus flora as well as glossip-torus flora on the soil of Africa, which is similar to the soil of America. And he was of opinion that in particular point of time, Africa and America was united, but with passage of time, these continent got drifted, and America and Africa got attained their present shape, which were not the similar like as they are. After that, another evidence he has given regarding the geological formations or the geological fossils which are found in the continent of Africa are similar to the America, and similarly the geological fossils as well as the plants which are located on the Indian subcontinent are somehow similar to the Australian subcontinent, and the flora which is similar to Australian subcontinent is similar on the Indian subcontinent, and vice, and similarly the flora which is similar to in Africa is similar in America. So this means during certain part of time all these continents were united, and what happened after certain point of time when this drifting begins, these got bifurcated and attained the present shape. Other evidences Mr. Wagner gave was regarding the lemmings bird. These birds are found in Scandinavian region. They have the tendency to move westward, and after moving westward, they found their sea. This shows that initially the landmass was united, but thereafter it got diverted into two parts. So there are ample evidences given by Wagner. But now theory, beginning of this theory. Mr. Alfred Wagner stated that the continents were originally in the form of single or united landmass, which was known as Pangaea. The northern part of Pangaea was considered as Angara land, and the southern part was Gondwana land. The Angara land consisted of the parts of North America, Europe, Asia, while the southern part of the Pangaea, which is considered as the Gondwana land, comprised of South America, Africa, Peninsular India, and Australia. And this was the bifurcation of Pangaea: northward Pangaea and southward Pangaea, Angara land and Gondwana land. And thus the drifting of the continents began in the Carboniferous period. But what happens before Carboniferous period was not mentioned by Mr. Wagner, and which later on became his point of contradiction, that what were the conditions before Carboniferous period, why Mr. Wagner came directly on Carboniferous period, which was not told by Wagner. Now after that he has stated two assumptions, that what were the reasons for the drifting of the Pangaea. First was there were two type of movements: westward movement and equatorward movement. Westward movement was owing to gravitational forces of tidal forces of sun and moon, and northward movement or equatorward movement can be owed to gravitational force of sun and moon. So these northward and equatorward movements were the causes of continental drift as per Pangaea. But does these movements were sufficient enough to create such an impact that the continents kept on moving towards north side or equatorward side, as well as toward westward side, and eventually leading to the cracks and attaining the present shape of the earth surface which is right now? So this became his point of contradiction. And so far as his contradictions were concerned, the first point was that what the regarding the movements he has the reason was given by Mr. Pangaea was related to gravitational force of sun and moon, and the gravitational forces of and the tidal forces, and these gravitational and tidal forces were not enough to make an impact. This was his first contradiction. The second contradiction was that he has mentioned about the Carboniferous period, but what were the conditions before Carboniferous period was not mentioned by Mr. Alfred Wagner. So it becomes his second contradiction. Similarly, the jigsaw fig pattern which was mentioned by Mr. Wagner is not the same as he was mentioning. There are some contradictions, and apart from that there are many other contradictions which were later on forwarded by various geomorphologists who had tried to given their point of view. But what I would like to conclude, that although there were a lot of flaws in this theory given by Mr. Alfred Wagner, but this theory assumes utmost relevance till today, because this was the first of its own kind theory where an effort was made in this domain, in the field of physical geography or in the field of geomorphology, where effort was made to to assess the continents, to assess their drifting, to assess about plants, their fossils, about sun, about moons, about gravitational force, about tidal force. And in nutshell, as I mentioned in the initial stage of my theory, that this theory was not the outcome of Wagner's individual effort, but this theory was the outcome of the amalgamation of the host of scientists who have given their views, like paleontologists, geomorphologists, botanists, etc. And finally, Mr. Alfred Wagner might have died in that point of time, but his ideas never died, because after this theory there came many other theories like seafloor spreading, plate tectonic theories and others. So this was a brief about plate tectonic theories. Thank you.